national icon, listed as one of the 7 wonders of the world. Uniquely Australian. But there's something else us Aussies are well known for too.
And that's our farming. Even though many properties are hundreds of kilometres from the coast, the land and the ocean are interconnected.
So what farmers do on their properties has a big impact on the health of our beloved reef.
Hey Tom, now you've got a lot of knowledge about this issue. What would happen if a whole lot of cows continually came down to the river to get a drink?
Well, the main impact, Stacey, is as the cattle come down to the creek, they like to use the same track, and over time that track erodes out and sections of the bank can wash off, and that sediment can then end up on the reef.
What sort of effect does the sediment have on the reef?
Well, the main thing is blocking out the sunlight, so the sediment's very fine and it travels long distances, and it's blocking out the sunlight that the coral and the seagrass needs to photosynthesise for food. And then over time, when it does settle out, it also smothers that coral and stops the young corals being able to re-establish in that area, and in cases it can kill the coral.
Now this is a beautiful part of the world, and the Fitzroy River is absolutely stunning. Tell me about the Fitzroy Basin and how important it is.
Well, the Fitzroy Basin is the largest catchment that drains to the Great Barrier Reef, and it's twice the size of Tasmania, and 90% of that is grazing and farming lands.
So it's pretty important that, that they have really good practices in place.
Absolutely, it's very important for the health of the reef, and it's also good for the land. A lot of the farmers and graziers, they're trying to do the right thing, and we work with them to do things like off-stream watering points, riparian fencing, controlling that stock access to the riverfront, and also improving ground cover across the property as a whole.
Steve and Claire are cattle farmers here on the Fitzroy Basin and have built fences to reduce the amount of soil getting into the water and out to the reef.
So you're basically putting a fence to stop the cattle from getting down to the water, aren't you? Why is that?
So that the cattle aren't working the creek banks and river banks to stop the erosion and stop soil running off into the river streams.
Good stuff. So where do they go to get a drink?
So what we do then is we pump water from there to a storage source, and then we put troughs in the paddock so we can control where the cattle actually drink.
Wow, there's so much to it. Now, I know it's a real family effort. You've got Claire and you've got the 3 kids. What's a normal day like here on the farm?
Well, we're pretty lucky. The kids start early. They get up and do their chores and feed the dogs and feed the bulls and things like that. They're schooled for school of the air on farm. And then as soon as they've finished that, they're off down the paddock with me, and they can, whatever we're doing on the day, whether it be fencing or mustering, they're in there helping us.
It's a very practical, well-rounded life, isn't it?
Well, we have to be sustainable. We've been here a long time, in generations, and we want to have a future there for our children and their children. So our aim is always to improve the land and leave it better than when we started.
With a bit of hard work and creativity, Steve and Claire have a productive farm, and the reef has a bunch of happier fish and coral.